Hello everyone, it's Nono here, and I want to welcome you to live stream number 18. This is a video part of the nono.ma live stream, and if you're new, I want to let you know that this is a weekly spot that I choose for coding every week in front of you to learn things on my own and also maybe hopefully teach something to you. This time of the year, so we're doing the machine learning series, and we also do creative coding and other things that have to do with automation, design, art, and also podcasting, writing, sketching, many different things. The first things, as always, I will ask you to let me know on the chat if you can hear me right and if you can see me right. All right, so also like the video if you would like to see more of this content and to help us get more people to get to the channel. And subscribe if you want to get notified when I go live next or when I upload new videos, which I usually do weekly. All right, you can join us on the Discord server at nono.ma/Discord. That's where you will find the invite. There's already some conversation there. We're like a few members already, and you can share your projects, ask questions, and join the community. Okay, last week we saw the third part of porting or adding models to your Runway ML session. This is, wrapping the Python code and all that stuff using the Runway template to add it to your own account, and also using other people's code and the different ways that you can do that. There's like 3 live streams. So last week, the one before and the one before that, we have been covering these topics. All right, what about today? So right now I'm going to wait just to reload the chat and make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, hearing what I'm talking, and that you're seeing everything all right. All right. So it seems like everything is good on my end. So a few announcements, right? So what are we going to do today? There's many things. We don't have much time, but we will try to cover some of these things. I'm going to show a preview of some of the StyleGAN explorations that I've been doing with my sketches. I'm going to mention also really quickly the importance of reporting. I don't think we're going to see any of that now, but I just want to reinforce that and mention it probably in future live streams. And from adding models to Runway, I still haven't fixed the Docker issue that I had last week, but we will probably do that in the future. If we have time, we might open some custom StyleGAN checkpoints in Runway's interface. We're going to take a look at pix2pix.py from TensorFlow examples, maybe to take a look at that neural network architecture and how we can use it. And then also maybe a challenge will animate remarkable drawings. This is just like the remarkable tablet that I've talked about before. I just would like to get that code and export an SVG path or something that we can then animate on a web tab. All right, so what do we have here? Majur and some other people have been asking about the 4 laws for AI in architecture talk that I have given at the AIAU network today. I'll most likely be sharing some of this content or mentioning what the talk is about, and maybe even sharing the talk or like redoing it live. This is a paid course on the AIAU network, and I won't be able to share the original recording. So yeah, we might see that, and let me know in the comments or in the chat if you're interested. That's something that we will definitely cover if you're interested. New episode on the Getting Simple podcast. So this is with my friend Mike Gabor. You can access at gettingsimple.com/Mike or /42 or /Mike-Gabor. And I've enjoyed a lot doing this interview, editing, and it's been really fulfilling. I think you won't regret listening to this episode. The title is Falling in Love with the Ocean, Dark Showers, which I was really happy to hear about. They're really cool. Attention, meditation, mindfulness, something called the sensorium, which I also was really curious to learn about, and the contents of Mike's backpack. We will be sharing a series of videos where you see Mike, maybe me as well, doing this interview and the contents of his backpacks in a more visual way. Another video that I don't have slides for, but I will be sharing is an unboxing of my new M1 13-inch MacBook Pro laptop. So I haven't used it yet because I want to go through the entire process. I already recorded the unboxing. I'm going to record the onboarding when I start setting up Big Sur from scratch on that laptop. And then later we'll probably go through a series of videos where I'll just go through what's different with that computer, or if it's fast or not, or what. I'm a bit excited about that and we'll be happy to share it with you. All right, reporting. I just wanted to make a quick comment. Some of the experiments I've been doing with StyleGAN have been really precious about. Okay, so one quick comment. Let's go back to that today's slide. So Suman Kumar is asking on the chat, and hello. So I don't know if I've seen you before here, but welcome to the channel. Really glad that you joined us. I don't know the cost. I know there is like an on-demand way that you can access the course paying afterwards. I'm not sure if, I don't really know. I don't know if it's $10 or $40 or whatever, but I can share links on that if you leave a comment on this video, not on the chat but on the comments. Maybe I can that acts as a reminder and I can take a look at that. Let me actually, maybe it's easier, maybe just make a note here and make a note to share. So figure out price of AIAU course, and I'll share a link to that right now. So let me just bring it on screen. So I have a new tab here. Let me just make sure that I can see the chat. And all right, so 1 second. This didn't test and test. All right, so that here. And great. So the price. So AIAU. So the network or the talk was called, or is called, What to Do About Artificial Intelligence's Impact. My talk was around what I just shown, 4 laws for AI in architecture, how architects can prepare for machine intelligence. And yeah, so the course is here. So it's a long URL, AIAU.org courses, what to do about artificial intelligence. All right, so I'll put on the I'll put the link on the comments of this video. So let me see, where is this? Okay, now my YouTube preview works fine, which wasn't before. So let me see if I can edit live here. All right, on the talk links, I'm gonna put AIA. Let's just take a look here. So AIA University talk, and we'll put it there. So I'm just gonna save that link. So we're gonna save that. And yeah, and thanks so much, Suman Kumar, for joining the channel. So I'm hopefully you enjoy the content and you get something out of it. So here it says $40 for non-members, $25 for members. This was at least the price for seeing this live. I'm not sure about the course afterwards. So I know Natasha gave a really inspiring talk and really actionable and useful to learn concepts about AI and how to implement it in architecture, and and what things you have to have in mind. And she also commented on some actual practical things they're doing at Jacobs, and I commented on some of the the mindset or the way we're thinking about all of this inside of Autodesk. So yeah, I would encourage you to watch it. I think it was a good discussion afterwards. It was like the format was like a 10 or 15 minute talk, then another 10 or 15 minute talk, and then we had like a 20 to 40 minute Q&A session. So that live part you won't get anymore, but at least you can go and see that recording. But I'm here, so if you have any questions, you can put them on the chat and I can reply to them now or later or some other day. And yeah, so that's that. The link, hopefully, so if I go now to my YouTube channel, let's see here, so you can see the live video which you're watching right now, which is really meta. This is here 3 times. So I'm gonna click, silence that, and you can see the link here. So AIA, well, let me just move this here. Oops, reply. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move to the other side in here. So yeah, this is the link. So I just added it here, so you can go here, click, and you get there. All right, let's go back to my slides and let's go back in there. All right, so where are my slides? Here. So we're still on the announcements and talking. So new episode, Getting Simple. You can go gettingsimple.com/mic. Reporting the importance of automation. So for the StyleGAN explorations that I've been doing, really important to automate the saving of your models and the creation of artifacts that let you inspect how the models are working. Not only that, but also metrics that you can see maybe in TensorFlow or just as PNGs or images that you can see to see how the model is training, how it's performing, and so on and so forth. Sketches. All right, so this is something that I wasn't going to show this early, but I decided just to do it. So I start building a set of slides, a set of presentation slides, and I'm gonna do this as a small video that we can use as a separate clip that we can post afterwards. So I'm gonna just drink some water really quickly. Right, and we'll record this in the tutorial mode, so I'll start talking again as if I was starting from scratch. Hi everyone, it's Nono here, and this is a quick video where I'm going to share some of the experiments I've been doing with my own sketches, my hand drawings, some other portraits from another artist, and my... no, not that way. So, hi everyone, this is Nono, and this is a quick video to show you some of the experiments I've been doing with StyleGAN and my own hand sketch drawings. Alright, let's get started. So, StyleGAN, for those of you who don't know what it is, I have some videos about it, is a network that lets you generate images. The dataset that I have used is this. So these are some of the sketches that are on my website at sketch.nono.ma, and you might have seen already. So I use these, maybe one is missing here, but I use 85 sketches to train StyleGAN. I did some data augmentation techniques. You can see them in other live streams. I think it's live stream number 10. And what I did is just use those 85 files, actually augment them to 180 and train StyleGAN. After maybe 5 or 9 hours, these are some of the things that got generated. They look really similar to my sketches. Let's go back once more. But just from afar, if you go close and you zoom in, you can see that they're not really anything alike my sketches. They just look like them and have a similar style. So this is an interpolation video. So this is what's called, and let me move here. Oh. This is what's called a latent space interpolation walk, or a latent space walk. The model is going from one to the other image and doing a really smooth transition on the latent space. And the latent space is, think about it as the space of infinite, or not infinite, but like really large amount of possibilities that the network can provide you as an output when you give it inputs. And that depending on the input that you give, it's going to retrieve one or the other. For 2 different inputs, you can create a walk or a path to interpolate between one result and the other. Then you create sort of a perfect transition from one image to the other, and you get these smooth transitions. The second thing that I did is to handpick. The second thing that I did is handpick some of those that in this case looked like they were buildings and create a latent spacewalk just with those. So here you can see this is an interpolation of many drawings that, at least to my eye, looked like they were architectural or something that contained buildings. What's really fun is that you can see that some of those black lines that you can see on the top, on the bottom, on the middle, on the sides, try to mimic the way that I put my text labels and annotations on the sketches. They appear to be on the same spots where I add tags or names, sometimes one, sometimes many of them. It's really intriguing. It's really nice to see that at least the network is learning some of those features from the data. The second step, or the second experiment that I did, was selecting things that look like bags. I actually have a cardboard bag or a couple of them sketched on the dataset. We can actually go back and spot where that is. So these are the ones that I'm referring to, right? These are pixelated right now, but you get the point. If we go back to that slide, all of those have a similar appeal to that, even though there are like two of them that look a bit like buildings. Let's see the latent spacewalk. So this is an interpolation, and just to note, it's an interpolation from this image on the top to this one on the right, to then this one, then that, then that, then that. It's like going from here to here, and then to here, and then to here. If you pay attention, or pause that if you pay attention or stop that animation, you can see that we're actually interpolating between those exact steps. So it's like moving in space, going from point to point, trying to make a transition and connecting the different designs with, you know, a smooth transition that happens because we're actually just changing parameters on a 512 number vector. And that vector gets to adjust itself going from one point to the other. And it's actually something that is called the Z vector that has 512 components, and each of those components belongs to one feature of this each of those components belongs to one specific feature of our images. One might respect to color, one might relate to color, one might relate to the text, one might relate to the position, to the shape, many different things. And some of them might relate to multiple things. Some of these models that have been trained by the creators of the model and by other people have been able to encode some of those parameters on this Z vector for features of the human face. So smile, eye color, thickness of the lips, and many other things. Yeah, so Sumar said that he doesn't know what the content is about, but that the way we're trying to explain this here is really simple and understanding. Keep going. This will pay off someday. Love from India. Thank you, and lots of love as well. I'm really glad that you connected and that you're collaborating or engaging with us through the chat. I would encourage you to join the Discord community if you want at nono.ma/Discord, because there we can continue the conversation. And also let us know, you know, as Sumar did, where you're connecting from or what you're looking to learn here, what your background is, as much information as you want to share with us. All right. So these are some of the ones that I chose because they resemble the style that I use for drawing. In this case, this seems like I was sketching a building and that I added. Let's take a look in detail here. This looks like what I do when I sketch. If I get my notebook or my sketchbook, you can see that I put a bold label with an 03 thickness, then something with like a thinner pen that represents usually the city where I'm sketching at or the place or something, and then at the bottom, in the thinnest possible line weight, I put the date, right? So it would be, for example, I don't know, Eiffel Tower in bold, and then Paris, and then 2021 02 for 2nd of February 2021. And the network, so the StyleGAN actually got to capture that really well, which I'm surprised about. This one to me looked at first when it was small like a cologne bottle, but then it looks more like a bag or like maybe a container or like a pencil case or something. This one is really abstract, also like a squeezed bag or something. And what's interesting here is that it has labels on the left, on the right, and on the middle. And that actually is something that I normally do. Sometimes I put like the place or something, and then the place and then what it is, or yeah, many different things. This is also interesting because there are some drawings that have multiple pieces and their annotations are next to each of those pieces. And then this also resembles, at least to me, to a building. If we were to go back to the first slide where I shared those, you can go through all of these images and your mind alone, if you go one by one, it will tell you what object it thinks that each of these images is. I mean, for me, I'm just seeing like a glass here, some glass that is brown, a building with some sort of shading device on the top. Let's take a look. These are like the two bags or something that I mentioned before. More buildings here, even though they're not, but it really seems like there is some piece of ground that is grounding them, and then something on the top. And yeah, I don't know, there's not that much. Well, actually, one thing that really struck me is this, that it really looks like a sketch of like a scanning device, like a scanner, that I don't really have on the dataset. It seems like it's an open device or something, but that is actually not on the dataset, which was really, really weird. All right, and lastly, right, so we've commented, so we've commented on this, so we've commented on this before, and what I'm gonna show right now is in this quickly, right? I'm gonna do another introduction in case I shared this by itself. Hi, it's Nono here, and this is just a quick experiment that I did training StyleGAN 2 with a set of just 8 sketches that my mom, Lourdes Alonso Carrion, sketched by hand. We scanned them, we edited them with Photoshop, and we made all the canvases square. It's really weird because at this point on the network, so this was StyleGAN, and I think this was when the network had been trained for 6 or 8 hours, it actually just looks like it's showing features from 4 or 5 sketches, and as the image changes, I can recognize myself and some other people. Among those are my cousin Nacho Martinez Alonso and Jose Luis García del Castillo and some other people from our family. But, you know, this seems like an ongoing thing where the same sketch is changing, is morphing. Like the beard is going out and in, the hair is going out and in, and then it's becoming white and then like curly like mine. It's really mesmerizing, and just by looking at it here, I don't know what to make of it. But as I see it right now, it looks like a really cool tool if you wanted to create a transition between different images, or also you wanted to explore different variations of your drawings, or interpolate between 2 or more images and try to find some sort of mixed drawing that shares features between a few of them, right? So yeah. This is Lourdes Alonso Carrion's sketches. Again, you can go to her website at lourdes.ac, right? So www.lourdes.ac, and I'll put a link on the episode or this live stream's notes. All right, so this, just to have a recap, so we've seen my hallucinating sketches. So this is being trained with my own sketches. And these are all fakes, so these are generated by StyleGAN after maybe training for 6 hours or 7. This is as a latent space walk, an interpolation that is sampling from the latent space many different positions and output vectors. And you know, this is me handpicking different ones from that library of things that were generated. I actually generated like 2,000 random ones, and then you could pick by the number of the random seed that you have used to generate them. This is the interpolation of those so-called buildings as I'm seeing them, at least. These are bags to me, and this is the interpolation. And my next step, you know, is to choose some of these ones and maybe even just pass thousands of them through image classifiers and let the classifiers tell me what these ones are. And this has been done before. I don't remember the name, or the last name is Tom, but he did this and ran it through Google's classifier by generating a lot of random art pieces or like creative coding sketches. And lastly, these again are Lourdes Alonso's. Yeah, so Sajid says that he loves how the eyes are fixed in the transition. So if we looked a bit at the this transition point, right? I can go to, let me just go here to my models folder. Right, so I have from these images, right, like just to show the process, this is what my augmented dataset looks like. So the images are like going to the sides, right? So let's just open a couple one and zoom in. Right, 1 second here. Yeah, so these are augmented images. So they're the same images, over 85 images over and over again. So I made 9 or 10 augmentations of each image. And for the ones with the portraits, if we take a look at it, I don't have it here, so let's go to the data sets. Here, all right, so these are the data sets, and the original images, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, here, all right, here. So the original images were these ones, right? I'm gonna make them slightly bigger. So these are, so this is the artist that sketched them, and this is me that I'm talking to you right now. And you know, we've mentioned Jose Luis García Castillo here before. So these were the 10 different, and this is my grandma, my uncle. So these are the sketches that were shown here. Oh, look, I don't know, Jose Luis and Bea, hello. I don't know if you saw any of these before, but Jose Luis, if you are here, this is just like a StyleGAN experiment that I have been playing with, and you are in one of those animations that made it to the final latent space walk interpolation. So give me a thumbs up or just talk on the chat if you can see this. And that's me. Yes, that's you. So you happen to be on that data set that I used on a previous live stream, and I just reused the same one. So what I was talking about is that I had to try to center all the sketches a bit to have similar proportions, but you can see here that they're actually not in line. So the eyes are not on the same place, and that actually made the model have a harder time learning these features, right? So we can see that the eyes are a bit weird. They're not super good, but you know, it's getting there. So I really think that this is getting somewhere. And for those of you who didn't see it, these were some of the other explorations. So these are all real pictures. So these are real sketches that I've done, and these are all fakes. So these are all fake images that have been generated that from afar look like they're something, but they're really not, and your mind might make assumptions of what it thinks they are. And you know, this is like a random latest spacewalk of those drawings. This is me handpicking sketches of what I think that to me look like buildings, and then making an interpolation of those. You can see how the labels appear and disappear. Like if I had written the text for like what this is or where I'm sketching and stuff, these are things that look to me like bags. And these are those bags interpolating between each of them. And to reiterate, what happens is that for each of these images, the network goes to one and then interpolates to the next one and then interpolates to the next one, and so on and so forth until it goes from the first one to the last one. Each of those steps adds 3 or 2 or 1 second to the video, depending on how many steps you want the interpolation to take. And these are some sketches that I chose that look like the same arrangement that I will use if I'm sketching things. And these are those are the hand sketch portraits, right? So this is exciting for anyone who wants to try it. I will create here, like make a little call out, and at least because I haven't really formally opened these data sets, right? But the drawings are here, so they're on at sketch.nono.ma, and you can go to nono.ma sketch.xml, and you will find an XML file that for each, let me just move this here so you can actually read something. At nono.ma/sketch, you'll find an RSS feed, and in each item contained here, you have this media square image. This is a normalized image that you can get at whatever size you want. So for example, here, I can change my parameters to be 48 in width and height, and I can click, and then that image gets resized automatically. So you can use it because this is open data, and I think the maximum size is 2500. So 2500, and we get the image at the highest resolution possible. So you could scrape or download all these images at high res to use as a data set. And I would be really happy to see if you do anything, if you train a classifier, an object detector, a StyleGAN model, a pix-to-pix model. All of these drawings are already open and available online. There's like, let me take a look here. We can actually easily count how many there are, I think. So if we do here both, yeah, 85. So there's 85 sketches already. And then the other data set that it's already opened as well is these portraits, right? If you go to lourdes.ac/portraits, there is a compiled list of mainly face portraits of people, and most of them with pencil black and white, some of them with a bit more color. You can, I would encourage you to go here if you want to do some experiments and also just use those. Note that some of these are like reduced to like 1000 pixels or 2000 pixels, but yeah, so credit to the artist. And so that was just a comment there. So I wanted to show this project today because it's something that I'm going to be working more on. And we had here this let's code thing. I don't know if we're gonna have too much time to code today. I call out to Mike Gabor. If you didn't hear before, gettingsimple.com/Mike, you can hear the latest episode there. And this AIAU talk will be online for anyone who wants to access it, and I'll most likely also share some of the content in the channel. All right, so we've gone through hallucinating, Nono's sketches, the importance of reporting, and we haven't done any of the other stuff. So let me just take a look at this item here, if we can do it quickly, hopefully, because we don't have that much time today. And the thing that I'm gonna try to do is, I have a set of what's called checkpoints, right? So last week we saw a bit of StyleGAN and how to, we were trying to wrap it and to use it within Runway. For me, I have here under my models, I have used, for the experiments that I just shown, I used a Colab notebook, so a Google Colab notebook, and I trained there. I have my Pro subscription, which is $10 a month, and I can use GPUs and train there. But inside of Runway, I've also trained some models. So I've trained this one with a collection of photography from the Getty Research Institute archive, and this one is also from there. So the thing that we can do in any of these models, so I can go here into edit. So let me go back. So I go, and let me scroll back a bit. So we've commented on previous videos that you go to Runway. Runway lets you train custom models, right? You can see here, so train, create your own custom models, right? And there are three distinct types: image, that is a generative image model; text; and then detection, that is object detection, is to create a custom object detection model from your own images. I've used the image one, so if you click on the image one, it will tell you to name your experiment, and then you will go through a set of steps. I'm preparing a set of tutorials on how to train this. I actually just have to edit it and release it. And I have here 2 experiments that I've already started. So I have the like a lecture demo, and then Russia Sunset Boulevard's dataset, but I'm not going to use these ones here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one that I've already created from there. So this StyleGAN 2 dataset, which has a lot of like weird face images, and I'm going to click on edit. So I'm going to click, so if you go to the model, just so you make sure you see it, edit info, and then we open this panel here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on the checkpoints, so this button here, and you can see that here there is like a 364 megabyte checkpoint that I could download. And if we actually download that, it's actually asking me to save a PKL file. That's like a Python file where you save a bunch of data to a file. There's a lot of data here. Those are the weights of the model or the checkpoint. And I can click here on upload file. So if we go to my directory where I had the models, here I can go and open, well, this is, I mentioned before this part here of the reporting, and this is why I think it's important, and this is where I can see that this makes sense and that it's useful. So why is reporting so important, right? I created a way in which StyleGAN inside of Colab, every time you train a notebook, if you get disconnected from the runtime, so it's like Jupyter notebooks on the cloud, you will lose your files, potentially almost all the time that it gets disconnected, right? So what you can do really easily is that you can connect to your Google Drive and save everything there. You can save artifacts, you can save models, checkpoints, many things. You can also load things from there to predict afterwards. So what I've done, and this is a practice that I recommend everyone to do, is for each of the models that I train, every checkpoint that gets generated gets saved to Google Drive. And also I generate a set of predictions to be able to visualize just from the images how the model is evolving. So we can take a look, and it's probably better to look at the artifacts first. So we have here a set of artifacts, and for every artifact, for example, for this video, we know it's checkpoint 15073. So for checkpoint 1573, I have its corresponding checkpoint here. So it's right here, right? You can see that image. So I'm going to make this available on my computer, which involves right now continuing Dropbox sync because I have it deactivated for the live stream. All right, so while that's getting done, let's try to download this one just so you see. I'm gonna save this to the desktop. And what Runway does is that it just starts a process here of a download. These would allow us to also use this model on Colab to predict with it and do other things, but we don't really need that right now, so we're gonna cancel. All right, so let's see if Dropbox is now able to get this downloaded. We're gonna see that this is syncing, right? I'm glad I have a fast network. And I see there's some people online, so I would encourage you to write a comment on the chat. Let us know that you're here, why you're connecting, and where you're connecting from. All right, so Dropbox should be on sync. So we are, before I close or stop Dropbox, I'm gonna make sure I also download a checkpoint from the portraits dataset. So this is 151. So we have here 151. Oh, it's not downloaded, so I'm gonna have to download it from Drive. So we can actually stop this now, right? And the reporting, the actual step of reporting in this particular case happens here. So I have my drive, I have my StyleGAN folder, and then I put an experiment name. So this is like the experiment name is 210204 for today and portraits. And then in models, I'm saving the snapshot, so how the model is performing, or like the fakes that it can generate with a particular checkpoint. This you can see has degenerated somehow, and it doesn't really generate images that make sense. But if we go back to 151, we can see that those examples in here. So we're going to download that checkpoint here, and that will, that will zip the files for us, and then we could be able to retrieve them. All right, so I can see here Ricardo, Cesar, Rodrigues. Hi, Ricardo. I'm glad that you're connecting. And he says, I made a similar experiment using StyleGAN 2 using a custom dataset of chairs. Well, I would love to see some of those results. If you have them posted online, we can pop them up right now, or maybe just share them later with me, or share them on the Discord channel. But that would be really good. Also, beware that you cannot share links on this chat. So maybe you can send them on Discord, or you can put them as a comment on the video, and that might show up. And I'm actually on the Discord channel right now, so if you let me know, I can pop that up and open that, if you wish to share that. All right, so this is almost there, and while this is downloading, I'm gonna go to Runway. So as we said, we're gonna go to upload PKL. We're going to choose a file. Okay, one thing that happened to me the other day, Runway doesn't accept weird names, so don't put @ or like question marks or anything on your model names, because it won't work, and that is really annoying. I spent like 1 hour trying to figure that out. So I'm going to reset Finder because Dropbox is not showing anything. Oh, we say 73, so we have checkpoint 73. So I'm gonna, can drag and drop. So all right, and Ricardo, one question for you. Did you train this in Runway, or did you train it on Colab, or you trained it on your own machine? How did you get to do that? Put the Discord link here. The Discord link here. So Discord is at nono.ma/Discord. I'm not sure if I even can put links, but yeah, I don't know. So you let me know how you want to share this. And okay, so this is a sketch nono.ma 73, and I'm just gonna copy the checkpoint name. Colab. Oh, the Colab link to train my StyleGAN? Oh, you use Colab. Sorry, this is going like, we're going like, there is a bit of a delay, and I'm interpreting what Ricardo is saying wrong. All right, so we actually have, because this is really cool, we actually have the checkpoint here, so I can click on upload image as well, and I can provide that image. This is a 30 megabyte image as well, so not sure. All right, so this is uploading. So while this is uploading, let's take a look at Ricardo's experiment. Let's see. So where is Discord? Here in introductions. So I will show you here that we have this Discord server. Many of you already know it, but we're having conversations on machine learning topics, on the podcast, the live streams, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to open this, and I'm going to actually paste it, links from live 18, and I'll put here Ricardo's. Oh, you're here, right? So you are Ricardo's StyleGAN chairs experiment. So for anyone who wants to go, the link is here, and we can open it. So let's take a look. Yep. There is at least 20 seconds lag. All right, I don't know. Usually I thought it was 10 minutes, but 10 seconds, but ha! I don't understand, but I think this is my name. Nice. Oh, so by choosing a set of images, you're a programmer. Nice. Well, thanks a lot for the citation here. When did you publish this? This is really cool. Whoa, these results, I will, let's actually do something for everyone else and for myself, because this is here in English. All right. Sorry for that, I didn't realize. Okay, so by creating yeah, under this perspective, we scraped and selected 953 images, 1024 by 1024 of chairs and armchairs to train an artificial intelligence model using the algorithm StyleGAN 2. The learning process used the transfer learning technique from the Facebook Flickr HQ model offered by NVIDIA, and it was trained for 37 hours on a single GPU Tesla. Okay, so you're training in the same network that I'm using, but I haven't been so patient. So I have never trained for 37 hours. That's like really interesting. I'm learning from you here, because all the experiments, I always save the logs, and I think all the experiments I've been running as much have gone for like 16 hours. So I will have to take a look and train some of the models I've been training for like 2 days, like you have done, and see how that performs. The model is capable of making more than 100 images per minute, leverages the current design practice of architects and designers because they can test and visualize a huge amount of examples during the design process. Right, so let's take a look at this video. So we'll watch it on full screen. Oh, can watch on full screen, why not? Nice. And you know, for those who are watching, this is Ricardo's video. I haven't done this. There's no credits here because this is just how YouTube plays on full screen on my screen. But I think these are super nice. I mean, this is exactly what I was mentioning before. I'm sure that the interpolations or the in-between chairs that we can see here are not that don't exist, and those are synthetically generated or fake. And this is a really awesome tool that if you created a tool to navigate the latent space in the proper way, you could design chairs with this and augment your capabilities. And also this is like crazy to get ideas and get inspired. I can see here, when are we getting a DigitalOcean tutorial? Well, if you guys let me know when you're available to do this live and you're going to be able to attend, I will gladly do a DigitalOcean tutorial. And what I would ask you now, Jose Luis, is that you tell us what things you would like to learn about DigitalOcean. Is it about creating Node.js servers, about creating PHP stacks, or running Docker images with, and I guess this is you. So Ricardo Cesar Rodrigues. So I will give you a pointer to his channel so you can see his videos here, and and I will be taking a look at some of this. I believe I've seen this from you before, so this is from a few months ago, maybe not this one. I might have seen this from you. And let me see, so when did you publish this one? So this is really recent. This is actually 4 days or 5 days ago. Wow. Okay. Nice. Do you have Colab Pro, Ricardo? Because this probably to run for 37 hours requires Colab Pro. But thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna paste also a link to your channel on the Discord server, because I think it's worth looking at some of the other videos. Ricardo's YouTube channel. Great. All right, and for those of you who don't know what DigitalOcean is, we're going to continue now briefly. We don't have that much time, but we're going to continue. And yeah, good job, Ricardo. That's awesome. So here we get this comment from Jose Luis says, when are we getting a DigitalOcean tutorial? Basic setup, installing modules, running a Python server, serving an ML model, tips and tricks, right? So serving an ML model, running a Python server, installing models. Okay, yeah, and what are these models? Is this Python models or system Linux system models? And tips and tricks. Yeah, there is a lot that we can look at that, like SSH key management to be able to access the servers, and yeah, many other things. This is a topic that I love, so that's something that if you guys are interested in, we will do. Yeah, and I didn't mean that I've seen you. I mentioned that I think I might have seen your video of the StyleGAN floor plan interpolation online. I trained for 8 hours and chose the PKL. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so in Runway, so in Colab, if you get the pro version, you can get runtimes up to 12 to 24 hours, so you can have a longer running. The one model with the you know the face portraits, I actually trained starting from a checkpoint that was from the sketches. So I trained the face portraits from a sketches checkpoint. All right, so yeah, and these are really great. These are really nice. And then there is a video here with the and guys, I'm not, you know, I don't know if the videos had audio, but I don't think so, but I don't hear what audio is here. I'm totally hacking today's session. It's okay. I mean, it's good to also, you know, this is why the live stream it makes sense, is to talk to other people and see. So Suje Kumarji says that yes, I'd be interested in checking out DigitalOcean, as Professor Jose Luis mentioned. Yeah, so DigitalOcean, I mean, we're not gonna do anything right now, but if I go to my DigitalOcean server here, you know, I have my websites and stuff, and I can quickly edit something there. And for instance, we could do here like a route. So well, this is Laravel specific, but this is remotely on the cloud. So let's say we say live 18, right? We just make a new page and we do function, blah, 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 return, this works, everyone, right? So I just save that, and now that is live at live 18, right? So this works, everyone. And you know, it's really nice because you're just accessing something via SSH, and you can edit live. And so let's just put like a heart here or something. Let's see, heart. So we save, and then that works. And I can also break my website live, right? So the cool thing is that I have version control. So I have git, so I can do git checkout dot, and then that URL is gone. So that route is gone. So yeah, we'll see that. For those of you who don't know about it, I have DigitalOcean, not to spam everyone, but there is on the live streams, on the last live streams, I've added this link here. So this is like a referral link that just will give you $100 on credit for the first 2 months, and then later, if you end up using it for longer, they might give me $25 in credit. But yeah, this is just an invite, so you can go to the video and register there. So you just go and sign up for an account. Oh, are you sure you want to link? Yes. So yeah, that's DigitalOcean. We'll see more of it. Okay, let's continue before we wrap up. Let's try to do what we were actually doing. So I've downloaded the faces checkpoint, and hopefully, so we're gonna leave this SSH terminal world, and hopefully now if we go to Runway, oh, the size of network snapshot exceeds the upload limit. All right, so that doesn't matter because I can use Mogrify or whatever, or Photoshop to make it smaller. So how I tend to use Mogrify, so we're gonna copy this to our checkpoints folder, here, checkpoints. And what I'm gonna do for ease is like, I'm gonna get my checkpoint image. So this is 73, put it here. And with terminal command, so image magic, I know Jose Luis loves it and we love it. I can go to my downloads folder, and if we want to make this image, for instance, you know, this image is actually 7,000 pixels wide. So I can make it, let's say we make it 500, so 7,000. Let me actually calculate. So if I want to make it, well, I can just make it that size. So I can say here, Mogrify, resize 2,500 by whatever, it will respect the aspect ratio. So everything that's PNG to JPEG. So I can, PNG, nothing's PNG, I'm in download. Oh, I'm in not in downloads. All right, so we need to take this out to my downloads folder, and we're gonna convert that. All right, so now my images are not that big. JPEG, but they respected the size. All right, so these probably, okay, so these I did wrong, so I can say the format before and then just say everything as PNG and they will get converted to JPEG. They're a lot smaller. All right, so I'm going to first attach that image here. So we'll go to downloads and get the right one. So this is the JPEG, this is sketches, this is sketches. So here, so we do save, and then we are gonna upload the other one. So we go here, we get the checkpoint here. Oops, checkpoint, and we'll do here Lourdes Alonso's portraits. We'll put this here, the JPEG one, and then upload checkpoint. All right, so this is uploading our checkpoint to the cloud. And Ricardo, if you have done this in Colab, you will have your PKL file, which we already mentioned. If you train a model in Runway or you add some custom StyleGAN model, you'll be able to also upload your checkpoints and be able to use it. So this is gonna take some time. It seems like the other model was being uploaded as we were talking, and so 34%. All right, what else do we have today? So we also had here, I'm not gonna have time to draw a path with P5, I think. P5, Pix to Pix, sorry. So Pix to Pix, oh, today. Yeah, this is almost completed, but I'm going to go into the Pix2Pix.py. Yeah, so the other day I was looking that I have a Pix2Pix Colab notebook that Jose Luis and I have used, and many of you have used, is the TensorFlow provided Pix2Pix notebook. And I just wanted to briefly mention how you can just use the Pix2Pix network or sub files from it with Python, so anywhere that you are. So let me just check if in this conda environment I have it. So my environment list, and all right, so if you go to TensorFlow Pix2Pix tutorial, right? So this is just on Google. You'll get to this Pix2Pix TensorFlow core tutorial, and you can go to the Colab notebook, view the source, or download the notebook. If we just open the Colab notebook, so this is code provided by Google, it's under the TensorFlow docs blob master blah blah blah, right? So there's one part here. No, actually not this one. This actually writes the entire network. So segmentation tutorial TensorFlow. So if we go here, you see those links are purple because I've visited them a lot. So Deep Lab on the segmentation network that Google proposes here, or like are using, I don't remember if they developed it, makes an import here from TensorFlow examples, right? So after importing TensorFlow as TF, they've previously installed the TensorFlow examples Git repository as a package, and then they call TensorFlow examples models Pix2Pix import blah blah blah, and then later they do use the Pix2Pix upsample layer, for instance, right? And they just create a layer and use that. So they're using a subnetwork here with a few upsample blocks from Pix2Pix, right? So how can we make use of that? So I'm gonna do here conda activate tf, my TensorFlow environment. I'm gonna go to my terminal and I'm gonna do import TensorFlow as tf. We're gonna see our TensorFlow version. And after we import TensorFlow, I'm gonna see if we actually have those TensorFlow examples, so we can load the Pix2Pix network, right? So TensorFlow examples from TensorFlow examples models dot pics to pics import pics to pics, and that worked. So now I can run here pics to pics. I can see it's a model, and if I run pics to pics upsample, that's a function there. So I could create here, say, a model. So I could say my model is a TF Keras sequential. I think that's all you need, right? Yes. So now I have my model here, which is a TensorFlow Python Keras sequential model, and I think I can directly get the summary. Well, yeah, maybe we need to do model compile. I'm not sure. Model summary, but whatever. We can't right now, but we can redefine that. So we could do here, define our sequential model. I'm not sure if I can do multi-line here. How do I do multi-line? Not with shift. Okay, so I can do here TF. No, I mean, we could do here TF Keras layers input and then maybe do size. I think, let's say, right? We could do something like this. Shape. Oh, not size but shape. All right. So we do here model, and then we do an input layer here with shape, and then we just close that. So we have our model here, and that works. Again, I'm not sure if yeah, okay, so now we have a model that we can get the summary for, but we can't really do anything. There's nothing there. But we could define this model here. So we could say, okay, we have our input layer, and now what we can do is that we can do here pics to pics, upsample 256 and 4. And you know, if you look here at the upsamples, there's like 3. Okay, so let's do 3. Let's do maybe 530. This doesn't make sense here, but let's see if we can actually get that layer in there. Incompatible. Okay, yeah, so the problem is the 256 input doesn't really make sense there. So let's just try adding this one here. All right, so now we can do model summary. This doesn't have an input size, so it might not work. But yeah, so you get the point. So if we do here model layers, now we have a sequential model, and we could use those. So someday we'll use the upsample function and pics to pics with the library in Python code without actually just using the notebook or using the entire network. So let's see what else do we get. So the upsample block is all they use. Yeah, so they use the upstack, so the upsample block to get the decoder on the segmentation network. They use the pics to pics example package. All right, so now after this explanation, we have the checkpoints, and we're gonna try to make this live demo before we wrap up, where I will go to add my model to a new workspace. So we're gonna call this live 18. We're gonna create it, and I'm going to choose the sketch.nono.ma sketches checkpoint. I see there's no image right now here. I'm not sure why. And I can click on run remotely and click on vector. So this is actually going to start charging us when the model is ready, 5 cents per minute. And hopefully we're going to be able to generate different samples or sketches in here. All right, let's take just a tiny second to let this load, and we're gonna wrap up really soon. So I would let you know, and if you have any comments or any suggestions for other topics that we can cover on the live stream or other things that we could do, leave them on the chat and I'll be happy to talk about it. Or if you have any questions about what we've seen today so far. All right, so it seems like the model is now working remotely on GPU, and okay, so this is working now. Cool. So this is the model that we have seen before, and you can see that it's generating outputs for me. And this experience is so much better than what I was using before, because I was just inputting numbers and not just visually seeing what was on the network, right? One thing to note is that while I'm doing this, the checkpoints panel is frozen, so I cannot change models while this is running. I will have to stop it and then reset it again. Once you get to a point, something that you like, right? So let's say I like this one, or maybe let's pick another one. Yeah, so let's say, yeah, whatever. Let's say this one, right? That one. So I can click here on, where is it? So here, load vector, save vector, regenerate grid, right? So this cleans it up. Well, not from that image. It just cleans up and starts regenerating. This is what I was mentioning before. This looks to me like a bottle with a bag around it. And this is another bag. And yeah, this is really a really nice way. This is the one, sort of the one that we saw before. So this is a really cool way to go through the latent space and just visualizing what's in it, right? So we're gonna let's take this one that looks like a bottle and regenerate the grid again. Let's see what happens. What if I click on regenerate grid multiple times? So we probably start from a random point every time, right? So we can zoom in or zoom out, and yeah, we have these, seems like bones or some tool. Yeah, and then, you know, here what we can see as well is if we go to one of these and get a sampling distance that is greater, I think we will get things that are more different. I'm not sure yet how this works. Yeah, here. And if you get the truncation point really low, you'll get variations, really slight variations of what you have on screen. So everything will be really, really similar. So let's put this to 5. So we have this here. And now we're going to get things that look really similar to this image, but that are slightly different, right? So you can see everything generated here is really similar to what I have. This is a really cool thing if you want to, you know, look for slight variations of what you have on screen, but that are different, right? So we're going to put the truncation back at 0.8, so we still get this image on the center, I believe, but the things that we get around it are a lot different than, or more different than before. All right. So yeah, so that's this. And something I will say, so here you can, let's say that you want to save things. You can save the image, but what's really useful if you're going to do more explorations on this latent space, let's say I look for, let me choose one that is representative. I don't know what's representative here anymore. All right, so let's say this is like a ball with some stuff on the top, right? I can save the vector. So I can save like a JSON file, and this goes to my desktop, and now I can double click here and I can open it with Visual Studio Code. And this is just a set of parameters, right? We can format it. It's just like 512. You can see this gets to 513. So if we remove this, it's to have 512 components on this Z vector. And we could change some of these parameters programmatically and then feed that vector into the model. So if we go into Runway, we could actually use this model as a, you know, as an HTTP server, and we can input different Z vectors as an array of 512 floats and then the truncation value. That way we'll get back the base64 image, right? We have the Z vector for the image, and we will be able to do a lot of iterations there, or maybe just change one or the other component and see how that works. Okay, we have this in here that is changed, and what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna load the vector. So we had before a blob with some hair on top of it or something, right? So we get back to that, and inputting the same vector, we get exactly the same result, right? So that's another way, a lighter way to save images, right? So this is a JSON file which is like 10 KB, but if I load that vector, so let's say I load the vector again, and we get that image on the center. If I save this image, so I save image that is 1024 pixels by 1024 as a JPEG, this is 50 KB. Not that much more information because of the nature of this image that is almost all white, but just something to keep in mind. All right, so while I'm gonna look at Ricardo's question, because the last thing we're gonna do is change the model, so I'm gonna get this Lourdes AI's portraits here. I'm gonna run remotely again, and we're gonna get started. So do you know if I can run a StyleGAN model on Runway locally with an RTX 2060 6GB? I'm not sure. I think as long as you have the so as long as you have the MVCC, so the NVIDIA NCCV, so NVIDIA CUDA compiler installed on your machine, that should work. But you need to find a GitHub repo or some Runway model wrapper that actually works. Last week's video, if you see last week's video, I was trying to use Gene Kogan's repo and another repo called Persian StyleGAN, and none of them built on Runway's cloud instance that has to build the Docker image for you to run locally and on the cloud. But if you can set that up locally with your machine and your GPU, that might work. I mean, ideally, in theory it works. I don't know if with that GPU card, but it should work with, if your card is compatible and you can run inferences on your machine, you will be able to wrap it in some way with Runway. All right, so before we go, and this is not finished yet, but I will just do the outro before we go, because that way we'll save time while this is loading. This was the machine learning series. I will encourage you to like the video to help other people find the channel, and if you want to see content that is similar to this, and to subscribe if you're not already subscribed to know when I go live next or when I upload new videos. And join us on the Discord server. This is where we have been sharing some links, and we will continue the conversation. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So that's for that. I think the model is taking a bit more than I thought. And we will... What was the thing I was going to show? Not remember now. All right, so that's that. And hopefully this model works as well. And yeah, so what I mean with that, Ricardo, is let's see, StyleGAN. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's taking so long now. Yeah, so this is, I think this is what I tried the other day. It has a Runway model entry point for exactly StyleGAN, but I couldn't resolve, so Runway couldn't resolve the build with that model. So if we go back to my models and we get Gene StyleGAN, I have here V2, which for the GPU build was having a trouble installing some dependencies, but ideally it should work. I mean, this is remotely, there's no support for CPU here, but you can ideally configure that. So configure this code to run also on CPU. So here you can see only GPU is set to true, so you will have to set this to true and set the entire repo to work with your machine. So that would be the steps that you will have to take. And yeah, okay, so now this is working. So let's open this up. there were not many sketches on this data set, right? So the variations here are a bit smaller. So let's just call here on reset. Right, so this is a bit creepy. This is me, sort of. Right, so let's say we pick let's say we pick this one, right? So we go to 0.15 here and let it think. So for some reason this just changed. That wasn't the one that I had selected. And here we can see really tiny variations of the same image. And if we keep going, we're probably here changing specific parameters. So let's say we go here, let's see what happens. Yeah, so if we go here, you see how we're just changing the parameter of like the hair or something. Let's make it bigger again. All right, yeah, so this was something we didn't get to do last week. So this was how to upload your own custom StyleGAN checkpoints that you might have trained on Runway or Colab or on your own computer, or that somebody has sent you, and that you can use here, as you can see, just by uploading and then starting the Runway GPU. All right, see if we can find me or not. All right, so yeah, that was it. And I will now thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Thank you, really. And thanks, Ricardo, for sending your link through and for the conversation. Thanks, Ajay. Thanks, Jose Luis. Thanks, Bea. Thanks, Suman, for your comments as well. And thanks, Lourdes. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day, and I'll see you next week. Bye.